Hello and welcome in on this wet Friday. For those of you that follow me regularly, you will know that this is the third attempt at doing this video. We were having some serious sound issues earlier, so I am hoping that this is going to broadcast and record okay. We will see how we go. Yeah, let's hope that third time is the right time. Okay, so let me come on in. First of all, hello, my name is Helen Jennings. I'm a frazzled Stamping Up demonstrator from here in the UK. And I try and come in on twice a week where I can on a Monday and Friday to do some crafting with you. And as I say, this is after numerous attempts today, hopefully we're going to be able to do some crafting. So let me bring in my downward camera. And this is who I am, www.loveaduckie.co.uk. You should be able to see along the bottom of your screen, sort of down here somewhere, that is always up on the screen, as well as my host code for the current month, which at the moment is March 2022. If you're not in March 2022 and you're looking for my host code, you'll always find it on my website, and my website is www.ladybird.co.uk. And as well as host codes, you'll also find links to shops, you'll find blog posts with lots of inspiration, you'll find lots of details about all my classes and events, you'll find some downloadable tutorial bundles, all sorts of things over on my website, so do go and check that out. And if you're looking for me anywhere on social media, whether that's Facebook, whether that's YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, you'll find me under Love-a-Duckie. So just look for Love-a-Duckie and that is where you will find me. And there's always lots of content up and around for you to have a look at. I'm going to come back to that one in a minute. I just want to share with you a few things before we get into our crafting. The first thing is the chopped challenge. Now we are here today on the 4th of March, so tomorrow is the last day to register to join up to subscribe for this month's chopped challenge. Now, what is the chopped challenge, you might ask yourself? If you are living in the US, in Canada, or here in the UK, you can join us in the chopped challenge. Every month you get sent out a little kit of products, current products, and you have to use a little bit of everything that you have in your kit, at least a little bit of everything that you have in your kit. You can combine it with any other current Stamping Up product that you have in your craft room to create a project of your choice, whether that's a card or a scrapbook page or a 3D item, gift bag, whatever that is. And then you take a picture of your finished project and send it to the demonstrator that you are registered with, and they will add it into a voting gallery, and then everybody gets to vote for their favourite at the end of the month, and the winner gets the following month for free, and they also get to choose the colours for an upcoming chopped challenge. So it's just a good bit of crafty fun. If you're here in the UK, I am the demonstrator that administers the chopped challenge here in the UK. It costs £5 a month, and you can subscribe so that happens. You know, I will set up an invoice so that happens. You can pay for that on a monthly basis. Yeah, and we would really, really love to have you join us. And because we would really, really love to have you join us, we are offering a special bog off offer in March. So if you subscribe, the first 10 people in the UK to subscribe to the Chopped Challenge this month will get April's Chop Challenge for free. So it's a buy one, get one free. If you are already on my list, you are already going to get that free next month. You won't be missing out. But yeah, we would love to see some more people coming and joining us for this bit of crafty fun. So do keep an eye out for that and come and join us. You'll find in the description to this video, you will find a link to go and find out some more about the Chopped Challenge and to join in this month. Something else that we've got going on that you'll find a link for up above is the card making bundle for the Ukraine. Now, I'm a member of the Creativity Abounds design team, which is 13 Stampin' Up demonstrators. There we all are from around the world. There is, I think, 3 from Australia, 3 of us here in the UK, 2 from Canada, and whatever that leaves, 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe, from the US. So yeah, so we are scattered from all around the Stampin' Up world, and we have come together to create, or we are in the process of creating this tutorial bundle. But we didn't want to wait until it was finished before we sort of started offering it out for sale. So you can buy your tutorial bundle now, and as soon as it is available, we will then send it out to you. But we obviously, you know, getting the money to the front line, as it was, is our main priority. So yeah, so it won't be very far behind. You're not going to be waiting weeks and weeks and weeks for your bundle, but we just wanted to get that out there. So you'll find a link to that in the description as well. So do come and support us. If you're here in the UK, it is £11.50. It is the equivalent wherever you are in the world. And as I say, both I and those 13 of the 12 of the demonstrators are all selling this tutorial bundle, and all of the proceeds are going to go to the International Committee of the Red Cross to help with their work with the people in Ukraine, and that sort of supporting them at this really difficult time. So yeah, those are a couple of things that you might want to click and follow up on. But we are today going to be looking at a bundle, the Hello Ladybug bundle, and here it is in the catalogue. Really bright, pretty bundle. You can see there you've got lots of flowers, leaves, ladybirds, and there is a coordinating punch that goes with it, which is just here. Let me just pop on my overhead light, that might help a little bit. So yeah, a really cute little bundle with some lovely greetings in it, sort of hello, may your greatest wish come true, it's a good day my friend, you can bug me anytime. So then you've got these really bold images. It's a really lovely bundle. But because at the moment we are in the middle of the not in the middle, but we've just started, the savings are in bloom offer, which is where you're going to be able to get your mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss at 20% off. So here's my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Great for if you're crafting on the go, if you're going on holiday, perhaps you're having some time away in a caravan or in a tent, or you've just got a little, you know, little bag that you're packing up that you can add this into. So it's quite nice and lightweight, great for taking away on holiday, great for taking to classes or crops or those sorts of things if you're going off to do that. Lovely little machine on the go, but also really useful just to be sitting on your desk if you haven't got a lot of space for a big machine on your desk, or indeed if you're just starting out with die cutting. You know, it's a nice price point, particularly with 20% off, to have your first die cutting machine. So the mini cut and emboss, Stampin' Cut and Emboss, is on 20% off throughout the month of March. But alongside that, there are 13 stamp and die bundles that are also on 20% off during the month of March. So what we are doing this month, as well as looking at products from the sort of January to June catalogue or other catalogues, we are also adding in a bit of a hint from one of these 13 stamp bundles. So we'll have a look in which is the one we're going to be playing with today. So alongside our Hello Ladybug stamp set, which we've got just here, as I say, with all those beautiful flower images, really bold images, the ladybird that will punch out with the punch, as well as another little ladybird in there. Obviously ladybug is an American sort of term. I don't know about other parts of the world. Here we call them ladybirds. So you might well hear me, if you hear me mixing and matching, that is why we tend to call them ladybirds here. But yeah, whatever you call them, That stamp set is just beautiful. Got our punch, and we're going to be teaming it with the All Squared Away stamp bundle. So stamp set and these lovely floor squares just here. So we're going to be adding some of those into our projects. So let's get started. Now, some of this is pre-prepared or pre-done, or whatever, however you like to say it. But the first card that we're going to do, let me just pull that out. Got some things. Here's some things that I prepared earlier. We're going to have a look at the ladybird that you punch out. So one of the ladybirds obviously doesn't fit the punch, and one of them does. So we're going to be looking at the ladybird that does fit the punch. So what I've got here is my Stamparatus, and I have got a piece of card here that I have just simply punched those. Let me make sure I've got that the right way around. Want it to be that way round, I think, to go with our punch. So what I've done is I've just popped my punch into that piece of card and punched the holes out of it. So we're going to take it the way that it is, that the punch goes, the card goes into the punch, which is that way. So the card is going to go into the punch that way. So that is going to be the way that we are going to stamp it. So I'm going to pop that stencil that I have created on my Stamparatus. I'm going to take the ladybird wings. I'm going to sit them in our stencil, make sure that they're nicely centered, and pick those up. And then I'm going to turn this around, because obviously I'm going to be using two different colours. And I'm going to take this ladybird body stamp, and again I'm going to sit that in that gap just there, pick that up. Now I'm going to bring in some basic white card. Just make sure that that's card is going to be in about the right place. Perfect. To take the inside out of that case just so that it doesn't catch the glare. So I'm just going to pop the empty case underneath here. That will then give us a nice solid straight surface on which to ink up our ladybird. So I'm doing this in the Stamparatus for a couple of reasons. One, by using this stencil, we're going to hopefully be able to punch out both pieces at once, but also it does mean that I can over stamp it more than once to make sure that I get a nice solid image. There. Rather nice solid black ladybird. We'll swap that round. I'm going to take that black piece off of there. This is obviously brilliant if you are creating multiples. Because you're just then going to be able to punch them all out, biff baff bosh as it was, without having to keep lining things up. Let's give that a second layer of red, and then hopefully, all being well, I have to trim this off on the bottom a little bit. It should fit into our punch and be lined up. So that we can punch both our ladybird and our wings in one foul swoop. Let's move that to one side for now. We shall no doubt come back to our stamper artist in a little while. And if I come over to my, here's one I made earlier card, you can see that I have here a ladybird that I stamped and punched out earlier. And I also have one of the floral squares and its matching flowers. So it's this square just here that I have die cut using my mini cut and emboss from some Granny Apple Green cardstock. And I have also cut the two flowers that go with it, again with my mini cut and emboss, and I've die cut those in Mango Melody, and they are going to sit on the top just there. So you can see that we've started, got the start of a card building up just here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of Pool Party ink and my blending brush. Let's just rub that and make sure there's no ink coming out of it. Take this Pool Party ink and just add a bit of blue in this centerpiece. So with a bit of sky going on in the background there. The other thing I've got here is one of those embossing folders that fits through the mini cut and emboss. Obviously it's not just a mini cut, it is a mini cut and emboss. So here I have got the checks and dots collection. This is the dots. The checks are just here, and I don't know how well you can see them. Those are the checks and those are the dots. But I thought, as we had got dotty ladybirds, then dotty checks would be the way to go. So I'm going to pop our ink blended piece of card into our dotty embossing folder, and that measures 8.5 centimeters wide. And then I'm going to need the embossing folder that I can't see. Excuse me while I just rummage around. Embossing folders, acrylic plates. I can't see it, I'll have to swap to my other machine. That seems to have gone. Walk about. So obviously this will fit through this machine. You just want the correct embossing plate. And I have got the embossing plate that is for the 3D thick embossing folders, but I haven't got on hand, seems to have wandered, the other embossing folder. There's always something, isn't there? And today it just is one thing after another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through my bigger machine. So 2 seconds. I'm in need of a big tidy again. It's not always permanently the case that you need a tidy. Let's pop that embossing folder just there. And I'm sure that now we've done that, the other one will come to light. So we have got a dotty. Can we see that? Yes. Ink blended mat of card there. And I've cut myself a black card base to pop that on. And we'll have our floral square. And we'll have our ladybird. Got some of the black and white gingham ribbon just here that I shall add in, and we want a sentiment, so I think we'll have the "You can bug me anytime." And I think that this little piece of, I can just pick it up, basic white card here will do the trick. Apologies if you can hear the rain outside. It has just been pretty relentless this week. So I've inked up that stamp. And we will just stamp that on there. It's just, got ink on my fingers. Don't know what it is about Memento ink that I always manage to get it on my fingers. Right, so let's have a little look. Let's take some of this gingham ribbon. Can't beat a bit of black and white. But we haven't left it at black and white. We've added in lots of nice bright bold colours in the background. We've made sure that that ladybird has got a good solid colour to him or her. It's a nursery rhyme, isn't there, about ladybird, ladybird, fly away home. Your house is on fire and your children are gone. That's jolly, isn't it? Ladybird, so many nursery rhymes that are not at all jolly, are they? We'll pop this here. So as I say, this is an 8.5 centimetre piece, 13.9 piece of cardstock on there. So it gives quite a good black border. Can't really see that with that mat underneath. Added in that bit of black gingham. But now we're going to come in with our pops of colour. We'll have a little floral square. Get some blobs of glue on the back of that. Add that in here. And take our flowers. So there are flowers to match all of the squares that enable you to bring in that pop of colour. It's a lovely little set. And then let's add the wings to our ladybird. I think we'll have her coming up with some dimensionals. And have her sort of on the corner of this flower just here. And somewhere we have our greeting. Might actually tuck it underneath the ribbon, I think. That will also help to disguise the fact that it's got a couple of little inky blotches on it. Let's bring in a piece of ribbon underneath there. There we are, that way I think. And just going to add in here, we've got some of the classic matte dots. We'll add some of those in. Oh, that one escaped. There we go. So there's one little ladybird card. Obviously that is going to need a insert in there, unless you've got a white or silver pen. So we shall make sure to add one of those. And you could add some stamping to that, or die cut a couple more of these flowers, or anything to decorate the little insert. So there's one little card using that gorgeous Hello Ladybug stamp set and coordinating punch, along with those all squared away dies. Now my other card, I've got here a real red card base, and I've cut a black mat, and as you can see, out of the middle of that black mat I've cut one of these labels from the Stitch So Sweetly label collection. So that's that one, and then this one will come on the top and will disguise that hole underneath. We'll be none the wiser that it's there by the time we've finished. So let me put those mats and that label to one side for now and bring in this leaf stamp. I'm just looking because I had already stamped one of those, and I thought it was in the middle of that it's already in with the card. We'll have a hunt around for that in a minute. If not, we'll have to stamp another one. So here I've got the large leaf from this stamp set just here, and I've got some old olive ink. I'm going to ink this up, ring in stamping pierce mat just there, and I'm going to have a leaf coming down into this corner. And let's ink that up again. And let's have a look. There we have a couple of those. To have our label coming across the centre here. And to say, I did. Here it is. Stamp and die cut a leaf earlier. And have this one that we're going to layer up a little bit. It's going to come underneath. So this is one that I've stamped and I've fussy cut that one out. So we should have that one coming under there as well in a moment. So let's just pop those to one side for a minute and hopefully they won't go walkabout. And let's find a bit of white card. While I've actually got my trimmer out, I'm going to cut 2 pieces of white card that are 13.9. Let's not put them on top of there because I've not cleaned that stamp. 13.9 by 9.5. I'm going to cut this one just in half because I've got a few bits I want to stamp onto there. So those are going to be my card inserts. We may not get round to sticking those in now, but they're there and ready. So I'm going to take the other Ladybird stamp this time. And again, I'm going to stamp it on my Stamparatus just to make sure that we can get a good solid image. And let's put our bit of card in here. Just hold it down. And pop our little Ladybird. I'm actually going to die cut her, so I'm going to take her so that I've got room to add my die around the finished image. I think we can come over a little bit, about there, I think. And to line this cardstock up so I know exactly where its starting point was in case it moves a little, because particularly with photopolymer stamps, they are very sticky when they're new, and this stamp has not been stamped up yet. So I'm going to ink her up and stamp. Do I want to give her a second coat? I think I am just a bit. She's actually not bad at all, but just for good measure, we'll stamp that same. Take that out. Now obviously we haven't got a punch or anything to punch this Ladybird out, so we would need to fussy cut her if we wanted to cut her out myself, but we're going to put her onto a label. Now there is a second stamp here that we can use to stamp over it. And if I was going to do that, I would probably line that up in the Stampo Artist as well. But I thought rather than stamp over the top, I would come in with my stamping blend. So obviously I have stamped her in Memento to make that nice and safe. We do also have another stamp that, had we wanted to have made the spots black on this one, there is a stamp that will do that as well. Let's just come around the edges of these spots just to highlight them a bit. And then let's come in light real red. So you could do this in Poppy Parade. You can get yellow ladybirds, get all sorts of coloured ladybirds or bugs, so you could experiment. There we have a very cute looking little ladybird who looks very pleased with herself. So I'm now going to take, so these dies do sort of, although they're not the same shape, they do layer up a little bit. So I am going to die cut our ladybird with that one, and I'm also going to take the hello stamp, I think. Hello. Let's just grab a little A block. We will ink that up. And then let's just, Memento ink, I get it everywhere. Like has a attraction to me. Just stamp that little hello, and we're going to cut that out with that die just there. And we'll trim this down because then we can put it with the mini machine. Let's pop the lid on the Memento ink. I did re-ink them quite recently, so that's probably why they're a bit juicier than normal. So we've got two of the layering dies from the Stitch So Sweetly label section. So the Stitch So Sweetly dies have both the scalloped stitched rectangles, and then they have this little set of labels that do sort of sit inside each other. And it's those labels that we're using now. So let's bring in our base plate. Is that? I want really well loved my plates on here. And we're going to die cut those labels. I'm going to turn them around just because it helps my brain to process the fact where they need to be. So let's line up that little ladybird in the middle of that label, and I might have put that a bit too near the top. We'll see how we get on, if we get away with it. Let's wind that through. And there we have that little ladybird. We're starting to get this building up here. I've got our ladybird to go on the top. I've got our little hello greeting. I think we need one of these nice big bold flowers. just here. So what I thought I would do with this nice big bold flower, first of all, we will put that on a block. I'm going to take this leaf off of this block, and onto that block I'm going to put, I think the Dottie. We're going to stick with Dottie. I'm going to go with the Dottie stamp out of the all squared away set. These are like little miniature background stamps, really sweet, different sort of texture in each one. Got some really nice greetings in here as well. So I'm going to take the Dottie one. I'm going to rest it on there. Let's bring in a piece of white card and our stamping mat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some bumblebee yellow, I think, and I'm going to stamp up this flower. I'm going to stamp my flower onto my bobbly stamp, and then stamp my stamp onto my card, and hopefully we will have a nice bobbly flower. So let's just stretch over and we'll clean this stamp up. And then we'll repeat. So this is the kissing technique. So we're inking up our solid flower. We are kissing it onto our textured stamp. And then we are stamping to get our textured flower. I'm going to also come in, go back to our flower, our hedgehog stamp set, and you can see on your hedgehog stamp set that you've got this funny little stamp just here and these little dots. But if you have a look, that funny little stamp just there actually matches the inside of this flower. So I'm going to come in with some more real red ink. Funny little stamp. And we will add that in the centre. And then those little spots let's add those in true Ladybird style in black. Got really mucky fingers now. Let's cut our little flowers out. Our little flowers that have got Ladybird middles. So as long as your stamps are small enough, those little stamps in the squared away set are perfect for the kissing technique. And you've got a variety of textures there to play with. petal was a bit flat on the end, but that's okay, we'll just work with it. Mother Nature isn't perfect. Might have lined this one up slightly, I think. Not quite got so many flat petals on this one. And we come. Okay. Can take that one with its slightly flat petal, pop it down there. And I've also got here some of the red and white stitched ribbon from the Playful Pets combo. It's a great combo because you've got this red and white, and then you've also got like the black and white twine, which you could equally use on here. So we'll just have that. It's a little bow, or shall we have it behind as a little bow? Just going to make my loops a bit bigger, I think. And add that in. Yes. Right, so let's stick this one together. So we've got a real red card base. With this black mat, that's our insert. Let's pop that down on there. And we've got our white basic white mat on which we've stamped our 2 leaves. And to pop some dimensionals on here. I'm going to keep them away from being right on the edge, just because there'll be things being tucked underneath. So let's pop some dimensionals on the back of there and pop that up sort of in the centre. And then we'll pop some dimensionals on the back of here. And we'll have that tucked. So it's sort of coming out under there. Do we want it to come round a little bit more? Yeah, perhaps a bit like that. Then we've got our ladybird. Stick her on the top. Then we've got our 2 flowers. This is the one with a really quite flat bottom. So we'll have a flat bottom sticking underneath there. I might just need to raise that up a little bit just to pop that in. I'm going to put a couple of mini dimensionals under these bottom petals, and a little bit of Tombow on the top there. And let's take a glue dot, and we'll add our glue dot under there. And a dimensional under the bottom there. I'll actually take another glue dot and just tuck one under here just to hold that down. In you go, like that. And then how about some of these matte decorative dots just here? Let's pick up some of these red ones. We'll have one just there. And a couple more just up there. I like these. They've got different sort of ombre tones going across them, so you can pick out lots of different colours in those for lots of different projects. So then need an insert in there in order to write on. I will sort that out, and on and on. But for now, there we have 2 Hello Ladybug cards that have been in conjunction with those stamps and dies from that All Squared Away bundle that's on offer, along with the mini cut and emboss during March at 20% off. So I hope that you've enjoyed those, yeah, that you'll have a go yourself. And if you need that bundle and you haven't got it, or either of those bundles, then do head over to my shop. They will be linked up when I finish editing. Yeah, do enjoy them. There we go, and their phone rings the phone. I don't know if it's anybody important. Somebody has grabbed it, stocked it, whatever. Let's come on back up. So hopefully, third time lucky, third time has been the dream, and this video has worked. I shall go back and check it now. But yes, love to you all, and hopefully be back as normal on Monday.